welcome to Topic of Discussion. I'm Azia Branson.
Caleb McCaig.
And we have a few interesting topics to discuss with you today. First off, we have Michael Turner likely to release from the Falcons, looking to get $6.9 million next season, possibly not getting it.
Yeah, he's a running back in the NFL. He's above 30, which is kind of where the wall kind of ends for being a high-paid back. And they have a good backup in a quiz. So I think it's kind of a smart move, even though I think Turner was probably one of the better top half of the running backs in the league. But at the same time, I mean, the running backs are there's kind of a lot of them out there. If you have a good offensive line, someone will probably be able to produce. So, I mean, you got to be under the cap. They have a lot of players to think about. Matty Ice, Julio Jones, Roddy White. So I think it'll be sad to see him gone, but he'll pick up somewhere, and the Falcons will probably be better off. So
yeah, they did have someone who played. He had got 503 snaps this season.
Yeah,
the backup got 502.
Yeah,
is that even a backup? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, our next interesting topic is the silence for Josh on Twitter. Can you tell us about what happened this week with Josh Hamilton and talking about how Dallas is not a baseball city?
Okay, now the first whenever I heard this, I was furious. I was irate, but at the same time, after I thought about it for a while, he's not wrong.
You're right.
I mean, here all you hear about is Friday Night Lights. I mean, we're football number one here. I mean, Dallas Cowboys, the Houston Texans are the big deal there. College football is almost as big as the NFL. So, and DFW, if there's a team that is winning, I mean, obviously there's going to be a lot of people there, and obviously baseball is a big sport here, but it's still behind football. Now, him calling us spoiled, I take offense to, because I've been a Rangers fan since I was born. I've been there through the losing seasons and whatnot. So
for a long time.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm still pretty pissed off at him. So, I mean, this whole silence for Josh thing, I mean, if I was there, which I hope I will somehow get tickets to the game, I'm going to boo the crap out of him just because I think he deserves it. But
I think there'll be a lot of people. And he had said things like, you know, if you're in Yankee, wherever, New York or Boston, you know, those teams are going to boo you too. Those are baseball cities. They're going to boo the crap out of someone who plays like crap in the last game of the season, you know. And but I do agree that that this is sort of a football first, you know, America's team, and just high school. I mean, I moved here from California, and it was like I didn't even know what football was, you know. It was all baseball. And so I think the people who are probably, you know, hurt the most by his words are probably the, you know, full-on baseball fans who are like, oh, no, football even exists? Like, you know, people who are like hardcore Rangers fans and like Rangers first, Cowboys maybe, you know, like fair weather Cowboy fans. Yeah,
and I also think it's smart of him to just kind of be taking some cheap shots. I mean, the Angels weren't that good last year. Pujols sucked. The only person that I can see on their roster who's just a straight-up stud is Trout. And then unless Pujols comes back, has a great year, which of course he can, Hamilton's kind of had the injury bug. And then, I mean, Weaver is still there, which, I mean, he's getting up there in age. So it's just, I just don't know how long that team is going to stay competitive, because they're not going to bring in Trouts every year. So I just think he kind of needs to watch his mouth before it comes to bite him in the butt. So yeah,
it was interesting because even the Star Telegram had posted that Twitter thing about don't boo Josh on opening day. That's what he wants.
Yeah.
So like they posted it on Twitter and they have like trends and stuff like that. It's gone a little too wild, I think. Another interesting Twitter feud we have that you were very interested in is Darrelle Revis and Richard Sherman kind of going back at each other. What happened there?
Well, obviously, if you watch Seahawks or like I follow Sherman on Twitter, you can tell he's a competitor. I think he was like a 4th or 5th round pick out of Stanford 2 years ago, and he's a pretty big corner. I think he's 6'2", 195, and if you watched the Seahawks and the Patriots game, he was the one who Brady played terrible. He was the one who after the game was mouthing at Brady and whatnot. So he's a competitor. He's talking trash is kind of his thing. Well, he posted a picture of his stats at the end of the year compared to Reeves' stats the 2 years before, because Reeves was hurt. And obviously, I mean, Sherman has had 2 great years to start off his career. He was also the least targeted corner in the league this year and had the most passes defended. So if you look at the stats, he might have been the best corner this year. I mean, he played pretty dang well. Revis, we've always kind of known him as being the best, but he's been hurt. And I thought this whole thing was just hilarious because Sherman, he's the up-and-coming star, and I mean, he's not afraid to speak his mind, which I kind of like a lot. So, but it's going to take a year for Revis and Sherman to both stay healthy, and then we'll see who is really the better of the two. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
My favorite tweet was Sherman saying that his stats look like Revis' career stats, his 2-season stats. Yeah, so
that was pretty funny. I think Sherman had like 8 picks this past year, and then like 1 sack and like 2 forced fumbles, which I mean that's pretty solid for a corner. So
yeah, so I mean, who knows if he can keep that up though? That's a pretty good season. Hard to do that 4 years in a row. All right, back to the Rangers. It is going on right now. Their first spring training game. We have Derek Holland on the mound. What do you see from Derek Holland this year, you think, after everything that happened last year?
Well, he got the long-term extension last year. I kind of think this is the make or break year. I mean, he's either on or he's terrible. And he's been up with us for what, like 3 years now? This might be his 4th. You might have to almost give up on him if he doesn't show up this year. And I mean, I love the guy. He's hilarious. Yeah. But at the same time, I mean, if he doesn't produce on the field, I mean, how long can you just keep giving him opportunities? Yeah.
And as in previous years, we've been sort of a young team. I feel like we're kind of an old team now.
I know.
The new players, we have AJ Przinsky from the White Sox, and then Mike Olt, who was on the team last year, but he only started playing in the he started playing in the end. Leonis in center field, he's young too. Yeah. And then they did say for Pomar, what's his name?
Profar.
Yeah. Embarrassing. Okay. Profar, they did say he had to play a certain amount in the minor league or at bats before he could actually play for the Rangers. Yeah. So we'll see about that. Not too much change in the lineup though. We still have, Ian Kinsler, Elvis Andrus, Nelson Cruz, who've been kind of, a very good, 1-2
kind of like
punch.
The centerfold for the team.
They've been so they will need to step it up a little bit more this year than they have in the past without Josh Hamilton and the others. Adrian Beltre also hurt right now, but he'll be. I feel like he'll be ready for season.
It's supposed to be minor, and I'll tell you what, I'm looking forward to the Leonis Martin and Craig Gentry battle for center field because Leonis was a highly sought after recruit or prospect, and Gentry played pretty well last year, so I think it'll be interesting to see who wins that. So
yeah, I agree with that. This weekend we have some exciting events coming up in sports here. First, we have the Stars, of course.
Yep. Saturday night, I'll be there. Stars against the Sharks, 7 o'clock on Fox Sports Southwest. Stars have lost 3 out of 4. They lost last night to the Canucks 4-3 late in the game. So, obviously, it's a big game. Every game matters in the shortened season, like I say, I feel like every week. But if you watch some hockey, I feel like you might get addicted to it. So just go and check them out.
Is this your first game to be going to live this season?
This season, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sweet. Yeah.
Also, we have Tarleton baseball today at 3, which you'll be attending. Your first Tarleton baseball game?
Yep.
Home baseball. Their first home baseball game. Their first games at home this season, I think.
Yeah.
But anyway, they're still in preseason. They're doing pretty well. You know, they're not really losing by very much if they are losing, and not really winning by a whole lot if they are winning. So we'll see about that. They also play at 1 and 4 tomorrow, Saturday. And then very exciting weekend in basketball with a very unexciting week they had this week, losing to Cameron, both of them, by only 1 basket.
Yeah.
But this weekend they play Midwestern, and the girls are in 3rd right behind Midwestern. So there's a big game for the girls. They play at 5. And then the men, it's just a big game for them in general, just to see where they will be placed for the tournament. And they're also playing Midwestern at 7 p.m. You know, it'll be a big game. It'll be packed out this weekend, so you should definitely come to that.
And I'm looking forward to the guys' game, even though I will not be there. I know Ian is looking forward to see what Brian Word puts up. I know that he fires him up, so hopefully the guys can pull out a win because we really need it at this point in the season.
Yeah, it's one of their last home games. I think senior night's on Wednesday, so this will be really the big bang for them. And, you know, I think it'll be the most exciting game of the season
for sure.
both teams. So.
Well, this has been a production of the Texas News Service from Charleston State University campus in Stephenville, Texas. Today's broadcast was produced by Ian Trobe. Oh, mess up your name, Traub. You can follow the Texas News Service on Facebook and Twitter, and check us out on www.texannews.net. I'm Caleb McCaig.
And I'm Azia Branson. Tune in each Friday at 2:15 for your weekly dose of topic of discussion. You can also tune in Monday through Friday at 12:30 for all your regional and national news. Also, check out our weekly Spanish news, Noticiero Texan TV, each Friday at 2.